Hi, it's another time to bring to you Sports Cruise on the Our Media channel with me, Jose, where today we'll be looking at some interesting stories making waves in Europe and also around the world. But this episode, we'll be talking about Manchester United, who defied all odds to beat Manchester City. But then it's their head coach, Erik ten Hag, who is making the news after he made some comments and directed them towards the owners of the club. But then also the Ghana under-17 side, the Black Starlets, lost their semi-final game to Burkina Faso, and head coach Laryea Hearts is being reported to have stepped down even before the tournament. And there's many more we have for you on this episode of Sports Cruise with me, Josiah. All right, so welcome back. Let's start off with our very first story, where it's Manchester United that defied all the odds on Saturday afternoon to beat City rivals Manchester City 2-1 in the FA Cup finale. So news coming out is that after winning the FA Cup title for Manchester United over Manchester City, Ten Hag was quizzed about his future with the Manchester United, and he had to answer by saying that if the owners of the club are not willing to work with him anymore, then they should allow him to go elsewhere and win titles. And his comment left United fans a bit surprised, questioning what the coach has achieved already with Manchester to make such comments, because in his 2 seasons with Manchester United, he has only won 1 Carabao Cup and also the FA Cup win over Manchester City. But then when it mattered most in the league, he finished 8th, which is Manchester United's record lowest finish in the league season, after finishing 3rd the previous season. All right, so still staying with Manchester United after winning the FA Cup, but then finishing 8th in the league means that Manchester United have secured a place in the Europa League next season. But then also Chelsea, after playing so well towards the tail end of last season and managing to finish 6th under head coach Mauricio Pochettino, it means that Chelsea could only settle for the Europa League, which means that Chelsea qualified for the Europa League, failed to play a game, and were booted out to the Conference League without even the Europa League season starting. But for Newcastle United, it also means that they wouldn't be playing in Europe at all. So for Manchester United winning the FA Cup, it's more like using 1 stone to kill 3 birds. After preventing Chelsea from playing in the Europa League next season, they prevented City from making a double and also Newcastle from playing in the Conference League. So to our very next story, where it's the Ghana under-17 side, the Black Starlets, that lost their semi-final game against Burkina Faso in the ongoing WAFU Zone B under-17 AFCON qualifiers. But then, right after losing the game, head coach of the team, that's Laryea Hearts, who is a former Black Stars player, announced his resignation as the head coach of the under-17 side. And this came at the press conference where he said that he wasn't no longer going to continue as the head coach of the team. But then one interesting thing that happened after the game was when the head coach had to just leave the bus, which was conveying the players and the technical team to their hotel after the game. And what we are hearing is that just some meters away from the hotel, Laryea Hearts ordered the driver to stop so that he can get down. And right after he got down, not even a single person on the bus knew the direction he turned to. And reports suggest that any attempt to try and make contact with the head coach proven to be futile. So Laryea Hearts, after tendering his resignation as head coach of the under-17 side, hasn't really reported back to the Ghana Football Association. About the whole town. But then, per the Ghana Football Association, they are saying that the assistant coach of the Black Starlets will be taking over the under-17 side in their 3rd place playoff game against Nigeria, which is bound in a couple of days' time. Ghana Premier League giants Hearts of Oak are battling relegation in the ongoing Ghana Premier League season, with just 3 games left to play in the 2023-2024 season. The Phobians lost their matchday 31 game against Beatrice rivals Kumasi Asante Kotoko at the Barbara Sports Stadium when Stephen Mukwala scored twice for the Porcupine Warriors. Which means that Kotoko have 43 points on the log, but Hearts of Oak are just left with 38 points and just a place above the relegation zone. The teams lying behind or below Hearts of Oak happen to be Great Olympics, their city rivals, but then Great Olympics have got a game in hand to play, which means that should they win their game in hand, it will just push Hearts of Oak back into the relegation zone. A place they've not been for a long time in the league. The question we are asking is that, do you think the Hearts of Oak will be able to stay in the league for next season, or you believe that after all the bad decisions they've made over the years with regards to recruitment and coaching, they would be relegated in the 2023-2024 Ghana Premier League season? All right, so let's talk about some Premier League players who are enjoying their holidays in Africa, precisely their native countries, and we'll start off with at the University of Ghana, where Kalimu Hudson-Odoi was spotted having fun and also boogieing to a King Promise song. But then he was forced on stage by one of the audience who just noticed his presence during the celebrations. And there you can see it on your screens. And that is Kalimu Hudson-Odoi partying in Ghana after a very, very good season with Nottingham Forest. And it's not just Hudson-Odoi who touched down in Africa, but then William Saliba, who is currently a French international but then hails from Cameroon, has also been spotted in his native land, Cameroon, after a very successful season with Arsenal. Despite finishing second with the Gunners, Saliba personally had a very good season, and he is in Africa having some time off during off-season. All right, so it's been an eventful edition of the Sports Cruise on the Our Media channel, but then don't forget to log on to our website, www.ourmediahub.com, for more stories related to all what we've said about over here. But then also, you can also leave your comments in the comment section, which my name is Josiah. Thanks for making time. See you again. Bye.